We start as Michonne, a katana-wielding badass that also has nightmares. And Michonne's first job is a simple one: loot the entire area so we don't starve horribly, all while trying to avoid being bitten, as bites will seriously mess your day up. See the previous episode as the main example. Oh, no, no, no! 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 Abraham! Michonne can use her impressive ninja-like skills to carve up a miniature horde. And you might be able to tell I'm playing like someone who lost two very important characters previously. She then breaks into Leafy Acres garden supply shop, but that loud entrance has just attracted walkers. But if I'm being honest, the walkers are the least of my concerns. Curveballs have awoken. That could really be an issue. Curveballs have the potential to make this dangerous mod even more dangerous. That's a real word, I'm adding it to the dictionary, alright? As you may have noticed, my main way of taking out the walkers is with the swordplay takedown animation. That's going to be a lot harder to do if they explode into a gunky mess on impact. No, 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 no! Oh my god. See, now, you might think I'm panicking there. You most definitely are, mate. But trust me, they will get you. Watch your back up there, zombies explode with gunk have sprung up everywhere. Well, that has kind of ruined my plan. So Michonne carries on her looting, but as of yet, we haven't found anything of much use. In fact, by the time she's finished searching this entire area, we haven't found a single rucksack. But strangely, I have found an abundance of high-value alcohol. Well, I'm sure that'll come in handy later when I'm trying to bribe more community members. So I head back to base to unload my fun juice, but unfortunately, my gas-guzzling pickup creates too much noise. I also make a stupid mistake. No, 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 no! Oh my god. I have no idea how Michonne avoided the bite there. Maybe it was divine intervention. Maybe Michonne is the chosen one, chosen to lead this group through adversity. Or maybe it's just because swordplay attacks can't be interrupted by a zombie assault. I guess we'll never know. Should have grabbed the mollies. How the fuck did I, of all people, not bring mollies? Also, that's the best shooting I've ever done in my life. I managed to lose the rest of the horde thanks to a new tactic I've been working on. It's called run away like you're a scaredy little bitch. I then head back to base to collect all the valuable alcohol and travel to the enclave that's known as My Family. I suppose that makes the whole going back to base thing kind of redundant, but let's just try to forget about that, shall we? But unfortunately, I'm not able to trade with them as they're looking for my help instead. Michonne agrees to help them find a rucksack of ammo, so to find some she goes to the local gun shop. Makes sense, right? Except all I find is crossbow bolts and parts. Oh, for Christ's sake, why is there only parts in here? This is the worst gun shop I've ever been to in my life. Oh, but you're Welsh as fuck. You've never been in a gun shop in your entire bloody life. With no obvious locations nearby, I'm forced to do something I really didn't want in order to obtain that ammo rucksack. Going back to my base and pulling it out of my storage locker. Oh my god, I can't even get it out. So it looks like we're back to the drawing board. Then I remember I can use the radio to locate some ammo. Well, thank god for that. That's so much easier. So Michonne heads to the small little office, but unfortunately finds absolutely jack shit. Alright, well, it's obviously not going to be the ammo shop I've already searched in, right? Wrong! Turns out Michonne is blind as a bloody bat. So Michonne drifts back to My Family and gives Laurie the sack of ammo. And thankfully that turns the enclave from neutral to friendly. I can then use our newfound friendship to negotiate a better trade price on all my high value alcohol. I've also bought a repair kit off him so I can fix up the utility truck. I'm sure that won't be a massive waste of influence. Michonne then goes back to looting the local area, but not before dealing with another horde with some more rear end shenanigans. But I'm starting to suspect her nightmares aren't the only demons in her closet. Oh, bottle of absinthe, that's what we like to see. That's what we like to get in our nail salon. Obviously, it must be a really stressful job. She really seems to have a nose for high-value alcohol. Then in the car park outside, we get attacked by the gunky Zeds, and Michonne deals with them in a way that would terrify the Tory government. And while I'm just driving about for a bit, could I please just remind you to leave a like on the video? I said in the last episode, if we got 500, I'd make another, and I reckon we should make the same deal now. 500 likes and I'll make episode 3. Apologies, episode 2 has taken so long. I've been dying of man flu. Then Michonne accepts a radio call from a local alcoholic that's become stranded and has asked for our assistance. Although I'd say our timing definitely could have been better. Oh god. Well, you know what? Now we have no reason to be here.
To finish off that one.
No, we don't need to finish anyone off, love. Alright, that's very rude for a start. Still looking for rucksacks of resources, Michonne enters Lowell. Although it's not long until she gets pretty tired. And that stamina tanks faster than Spur's title charge when a nearby horde hears my loud searching. I think it might be time to get out of here. Thankfully, even though she's knackered, Michonne is one agile lass. And always remember, when in doubt, make sure you're carrying pipe bombs. Thankfully, she's able to make her escape in the utility truck, although it is once again smoking. But thankfully, Michonne can drift back to base with no further issues, and swap to our sheriff, Rick Grimes. And Rick's first mission is to deal with our second curveball of the video, the Lone Raider. And that sneaky bastard is stealing our daily supplies, like. And we're poor enough as it is. Get fucked, mate. Go steal off some other knobhead who can afford it, like. The Raider has set himself up deep in plague territory, and unfortunately, it seems we don't have the fuel to make the trip. So I pull into the local petrol station to refuel, but my smoky engine has gone from a shade that would get me through British customs to a shade that would get me sent off to Rwanda. I'm obviously able to refuel, but now I need a repair kit. So I decide to check out the shop attached to the forecourt. Although I'll be honest, I'm not even sure if it's possible to find one in here. But hey, at least I managed to find myself a machete and a shitty pack of playing cards. But I'm pretty sure neither of them are going to be any good for repairing a dodgy engine. So I head north where I spot a car on the map. It's rare, but you can occasionally get toolkits in the back of cars. Unfortunately, here all I get is liquidized dinosaur and painkillers that won't even give me any kind of buzzy side effects. I want to try searching for one in this garage, but unfortunately it's locked, and my map is lit up like a giant fucking Christmas tree. So you know what? I think it's just time to get the bloody hell out of here. Ignoring the needs of my car, I head on forward. That is until a sizable horde spawns in front of me. And it's fair to say I'm not working my way around that thing. Well, it's a bloody good thing Rick Grimes is the walking definition of a power bottom. As long as nothing touches... Oh, for Christ's sake. Well, who's seen that one coming in? Rick gets some safety between him and the horde and jumps out. Go, Rick, go, go, go. And now Rick Grimes is on his own, in plague territory and in the middle of the night with no car. He's gonna need himself a bloody big miracle to make it out of this alive. The first thing he does is run to the local power station, for the very slim chance of finding himself a toolkit which will allow him to fix up his car. But unfortunately no, all he finds is scraps of circuitry. And to be fair, a bloody good amount of circuitry. If I wasn't fighting for my life, I'd be absolutely chuffed about it. The shit is very rare and very useful, just not in my current predicament. The Lone Raider is just across the road and he has 2 potential toolkit locations in his garden. It's time to get to murdering. But from a legal point of view, this is like 3rd-degree murder at best. As I don't directly cause harm to the individual, I just lob firecrackers through the bloke's window. Grenade! No, dickhead, I just said it was bloody firecrackers, for fuck's sake. You really need to start listening. Now, we just sort of wait and pray. Pray and loot for goodies, may I add. Alright, well that's not a good start. I find another machete, more circuitry scraps, but most importantly, no toolkits. The firecrackers have also stopped, well, cracking, I guess. And the Lone Raider is defending his back door from walkers. So I try creeping around the front to surprise him with a cheeky headshot, but the walkers deal with him before I can even whip it out. There we go. Well, that's him dealt with. The Lone Raider killed the hostile. The hostile is now dead. But I do still need a plan for getting my car up and running. Thankfully, there's a guaranteed spawn in a garage nearby, but there is literally hordes of walkers between me and it. So I decide to waste a pipe bomb to hopefully gather them all in one location. I also climb the nearby cell tower because, well, game on anxiety, I guess. I don't know why, but if I don't scout out those specific 3 locations I haven't yet, I'll get a very uneasy feeling. And with 2 hearts awake, we have a pretty serious infestation problem building. Ah, fuck it, that's the next dickhead's problem. I need the toolkit then to get out of here. But to get there, I'm gonna have to use all of my sneak skills. The pipe bomb did fuck all to distract the hordes. And there is frankly a gigantic horde just outside the area of the auto shop. So what I need right now is utter stealth. Absolutely no dicking about, I need to be as quiet as a fart in an elevator. But for some reason, I just decide to lob another pipe bomb. Pretty successfully, may I add. It does seem to have worked at least. It's attracting zombies there, but they're staying away from me. I might just be a genius, you know. Alright, dickhead, calm the fuck down, is it? Just because you can lob a pipe bomb doesn't mean you're prime Jose Mourinho. I enter the garage, but there's still a couple of knobheads hanging about. Well, it's a bloody good thing Rick is an absolute machine with his axe. Thankfully, I find the toolkit with no more issues, but just by glancing at my map, I can see there's a horde surrounding my car. And that's assuming I can even make the nearly 500-meter run. There are many hordes and many infestations between me and my car. This is going to be Rick Grimes' toughest challenge yet. Nah, probably not. I'm just trying to build up tension. But I do take the opportunity to have a gentle sprint through a level 3 infestation. And for no real reason, I'm just that kind of knobhead. I then get to the car and realise the monumental task ahead of me. There are too many to kill silently, and they are too close to my car to even think about starting the repair. I have also used up the last of my pipe bomb, so can't maneuver the horde with noise. I guess we kind of wait for them to wander past. Do you reckon that's feasible? It's only 19, I reckons. They're not wandering past, though, are they? They're just sort of wandering around. And I've still got a stim active, although it is my last. Would it be smart to make a move now while it's still possible for me to outrun them? So many conflicting ideas are going through my head right now. But in the end, I spend so much time procrastinating the problem, they just wander past with no issues. This is mental. I've never been this successful at stealth in my life. But who'd have guessed that's some life advice for you? Procrastination solves all of your problems. And with the engine fixed, I can get in and drive away. Although I'm definitely facing the wrong direction, so I've got to do a cheeky U-turn at the next available point. But then I've got to drive back through the horde I was trying to avoid. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, that's fine. We got through it. We got through it. Barely, but we got through it. I'm going to pop by the Survivors Enclave and see if they've got a toolkit for sale. I think I have literally been buying every single toolkit I can. I do pop in to see my friends at the Survivors, but unfortunately they don't have any toolkits, but I'll definitely be helping myself to some building materials. I then get word over the radio that our friends the Villagers have added a few new members to their community and have invited Rick over to say hello. There's this fella named D, also known as Dwight Ever. And as funny as this game doesn't have a burned face NPC, so the mod creator just made him an old man. I guess iron to the face and a poor skin routine is the same thing in the apocalypse. I also take this opportunity to buy myself a toolkit. I can then repair the truck and meet the other newbies. Introducing this masked little fella named Alpha.
Hi.
Oh, I'm very sorry, that was extremely sexist of me. I just assumed any 5-foot tall person that called themselves Alpha would be some Andrew Tate loving virgin. So before things get awkward, I head back to Dwight and ask him if he wants to join the dictatorship. And thankfully he does, so I agreed to give him a lift back to his new home. Yeah, just allow the wind to flow through your locks, but it's alright. So we get back to base with no issues, but now Rick needs to tag someone else in as he's getting a little bit sleepy. The bloke has done a solid 45 minutes of work and has decided he now needs a nap. I'm gonna take a guess and say Rick Grimes is my spirit animal. I suppose it would only be right to test out our newbie Dwight. But first I think I should check out his traits. He's a former delivery driver, a little sadistic, and a firearms enthusiast. Basically, this man is a walking red flag. I then give him a heavy weapon, arm him with a shotty, and give him enough opioids to run a crack den. I actually intended on sending him out to knock out some player cards. That is until I realise we have an allied enclave in need of food. And I'm trying to keep everyone happy, and seeing as we have an abundance of food, decide to go and help them out. So Dwight heads over there to meet their acquaintance, and it seems these two have also added newbies to their ranks. But first I gotta fend off against a couple of knobheads which my engine has attracted. Someone's got a crossbow. I wonder who could have a crossbow. I start by giving Sandy the sack of food, then purchase 2 toolkits from them. I then introduce myself to this mysterious archer.
¿Qué pasa, ese?
I've no idea why Daryl Dixon is suddenly Mexican, but at the end of the day this is supposed to be an alternative timeline of The Walking Dead. Anyway, using precisely 0 influence, I welcome Daryl to the dictatorship. Which is a bit wild, because his brother Merle is like, nah mate, I ain't fucking joining you. We head outside and I check Daryl's inventory. Oh my god, he's got the repeating crossbow and a wedding ring for some reason, which is extremely heavy. Look at that. I decide to swap to Daryl to get a better look, and it turns out the bloke is absolutely loaded. Imagine carrying 33 grand's worth of wedding rings on you. It gets quite dark when you think that Daryl Dixon isn't even married. So he's either been collecting them off walkers, or he's murdered nearly 1,000 married people. Answers in the comment section. Where do you think Daryl got all these wedding rings from? We once again head back to base, and we find out exactly how many wedding rings Daryl had on him. 990. Casual 999 simple wedding rings. Nice one, Daryl. You fucking psychopath. Immediately abandoning Dwight like an old toy, we take off as everyone's favourite archer, Daryl Dixon. And apparently a mysterious stranger fancies a chat. He's gonna die before he gets here, man. So Daryl decides to go and meet him in the field. Oh my god, he is taking on a horde on his own. Very successfully, may I add. The problem is he wants to hunt bloaters. And there's no freaks in this mod, so that's gonna be quite difficult. But hey, let's not worry about that, is it? We've basically got a free piece of cannon fodder. For now. I do pop by the bloater location just to see, but this tavern has a lower population than a COVID-ravaged nursing home. But at least I managed to find ourselves a sack of food, so this wasn't a complete waste of time. I was also able to use my new BFF to sell him a load of redundant shite. But unfortunately, we had to put Daryl's adventure to an end prematurely. I get back to base and take over as Rick, because Rick has an urgent mission he needs to attend with. Shane from There My Family has a missing friend, and that friend is either Rick's son Carl or Rick's wife Laurie. I swear to God though, if I help Shane and I come back and both my wife and kid are dead because like all the hordes around you, it might be the start of my villain arc. Rick enters the shed and sees Shane and Carl standing there alone. Laurie hasn't checked in lately. Can you go and what? Yes, yes, I will go find my wife. What the hell is wrong with you? Rick jumps into his pickup and takes off. And luckily, Laurie's last known location isn't far away. Laurie, I'm coming. He's not enough of a man for you. Alright, but let's keep things PG, is it? I'll save you, Laurie. But as Rick arrives, a horde was also wandering by. And in order to save his wife, he's got to sacrifice his rear end. I'm sure any good husband would do the bloody same. With the majority of the horde thinned, it's time to get out of the pickup. Laurie, stay with me. Then I just whip out the machine gun and go to town on the remainers. And with everything around us dead for a second time, I can go talk to my wife. I'm glad you're here. I hurt my ankle. I don't think I get myself home. Follow me, I'll get you home. So I then give Laurie a lift back home. She enjoys the fresh, smoky air in the back of the pickup, and our bloater hunter friend has decided to go his own way. You know what? That might be the first piece of cannon fodder to ever survive me. Fair play to him. Rick gets her safely home, but unfortunately, it's still not enough. The Enclave has gone from friendly to allied. I should be able to recruit any member for free, but the option is simply not there, and I have exactly the same problem with my son Carl. I can recruit Shane. Really? I don't want to recruit Shane. I want to recruit my wife and child. Laurie, just know I always loved you, and I will be back for you. And you, Carl. I know you might not love me at the moment, but it's okay. I will earn your love and respect. I will build a community that you will be proud of. I'll see you soon, son. I'll see you soon, wife. In his desperation to prove he's a better man than Shane, Rick has to do something he's not proud of. But first he pays a visit to a group of alcoholics. They apparently want to join the dictatorship, which is proper surprising with what happened earlier. Rick kills a bunch of walkers, which he did technically attract to their home, then tells them there's not a chance in hell they're joining the dictatorship. dictatorship. How about you get fucked? Anyway, back to the evil shit he definitely doesn't want to do. You see, we need 2 additional people before we can move to a better home. And there's 2 people we can recruit for free immediately. Alpha and Beta. They both agree to join the dictatorship. I suppose this is what happens when you accidentally murder a bunch of iconic characters in episode 1. You end up recruiting a bunch of nutjob antagonists. But now with 6 people I can set our sights on a new home. Rick makes his way to more and more distributing. And after gently asking the current residents if they wouldn't mind finding a new place to live, Rick claims it as a home. But the one thing I've realised is things are very rarely that simple in this mod. For love of God, can everybody stay inside please? This is a very dangerous mod for you all to be stood here. Apparently Rick doesn't have that much influence over these guys because they just remain outside. Well, whatever, it's a free country. So now it's time to start building our new home. And I'm not saying I'm one jammy little fucker, but I do get a well-oiled machine curveball spawn just as I'm about to start building. To get started, I build and upgrade the infirmary, build a big old garden outside, then upgrade my command center to level 2 so I can build more outposts. Then while everything is building, I take over as Daryl and head off to do some looting. Starting with this warehouse area on the northern side of the map. And thankfully Daryl is one fast and nimble lad, as he's able to search all 3 containers in this vehicle bay before the horde catches up with him. But now he's in a bit of trouble as he doesn't have swordplay like Michonne or Rick. He also doesn't have gunslinger, which I thought was surprising. Have you ever seen Daryl miss a crossbow bolt? No, it's not happening. Anyway, I decide to hide behind this rock and hope the horde just wanders past, which surprisingly works quite well, although there is still quite a few walkers around this location. And when I enter the warehouse, everybody immediately notices me. This must be what it's like to be Instagram famous. Unfortunately, the crowds get too much and I've got to escape through the back door. I try fighting off the pursuers in the bushes, but there really is too many of them and I'm forced to retreat. I take refuge in the power station, seeing as there's only one way in and out. I then step back and line them all up one by one, taking them all down with my repeating crossbow. I do eventually have to get my axe dirty, but overall that horde has been dealt with. Next, line them up, Daryl's going through you, like a hot knife through butter. But just when I think I've taken out the last of the zombies and I can start looting, the game's like, nah, don't think so, bitch. Oh my god, yes there is! Jesus Christ. So unfortunately I've got to retreat pretty sharpish. I head to a house nearby, seeing as there's a good few sheds to loot around here, and I'm always in desperate need of building materials. And thankfully my command center has now been upgraded to level 2, giving me an additional outpost. And I decide to use it as a temporary base of operations by here, but mainly just so I can drop off all the shit I've looted. Although unfortunately I don't find any building mats in the shed next door. In fact, even the hunting shack out the back was lackluster at best. Oh well, I suppose that's the joys of looting on Lethal Zone. So I head back to base and continue building. I start building a second farm, a rain collector and a fighting gym. Then we get the hyper-auditory mutation curveball spawn, and my base is smack dab in the bloody middle of it. Not great, especially when I've just started several building projects. So to get away from base, I decide to take on a play cart on the opposite side of the map. Typically just as a massive horde decides they wants to come wandering through. I use the horn on the pickup to keep them away from base. The last thing we need are the NPCs getting bitten. And overall, I'd say that was a pretty decent success. The sun has started to set when I get to the location of our first play cart. But thankfully this is one you can block off with an intelligent parking maneuver. And what makes things better, the majority of the containers to search are in this little blocked off area, which means I can fill up the pickup and take down the play cart without even getting touched. Finally, some building materials. A stranger is also in the need of my help right next door, and this is one of those occasions where shit escalates extremely quickly. I will save you yet! But the question is, can Dwight save Yut? I'm armed with a shotgun and pipe bombs, but even if I didn't use them, Yut is still happy just blasting away. But this is Dwight before he ever met the saviors. This Dwight refuses to leave a woman behind, and thanks to our excessive pipe bombs and shotgun blasts, Dwight has created more amputees than a Saudi prince. But just as things seem like they're starting to slow down, more and more trouble just seems to arise, and rather predictably we unfortunately have to say goodbye to absolutely no one. Here you go, Yut, have some painkillers. She then asks if she can join the gang, but as far as I'm aware she's never been in an episode of The Walking Dead. See you later, Yut, I'm sure you'll be alright on your own. I then take a quick trip back to the Lowell police station to drop off a load of loot and rearm myself. I then decide to take on one more play cart before calling it a successful day, and the one I go with just happens to be in this warehouse, and I'm prepared for a shit ton of walkers. The first thing I do is drop a smoke grenade, however it unfortunately bounces back off a walker, but somehow this still distracted the walkers, and I was able to get the first phase of the play cart sorted without any issues. I then frag it and blast the hordes that have gathered since the smoke has dissipated, and that allows me to get the second phase off really quickly. And while its gases are dissipating, I drop a soda can bomb, but it seems like the walkers have figured out they can come through the window on the right side of the warehouse, as they now start to flood in abundance. So I have a little run around and drop my second and last smoke grenade, but there seems to be a little bit too many, and with one bite kill I decided it would be best to have a temporary retreat. I then head back in through the front entrance, and now under the cover of the smoke I can get the play cart finished off. And now it's time to get the bloody hell out of Dodge, but my over aggressive approach has brought in several all sizable hordes. And they're all surrounding my car, so I've got to go on a little run to try and draw them away. That goes alright until a walker figures out how to climb up a car. Oh my god! Jesus! How did you get up on there, you prick? Down to half health on one swing. These walkers are the descendants of Mike Tyson. Thankfully, I take them on enough of a runabout, so by the time I get back to my car, I can escape safely. And Dwight can head back to base after a very successful mission. But there's one thing that slipped his mind. The hyper-auditory zombies. And he's just driven a giant fucking dinner bell right back to base. But Dwight is a selfless man. Remember, this is a man that never met Negan's iron. So he keeps blasting his shotgun to get all of their attention. He leads them all away on foot up into the mountains, successfully saving all of his friends he's known for like, well, maybe a day or two at best. And remember folks, this is The Walking Dead, the show famous for literally never having a happy ending. The crowds get too big and now he's fully out of ammo, and in a moment of desperation he falls down a small incline. Dwight, please get up. No, Dwight, no, Dwight, get up, you fucking knobbit. Why are you not getting up? Dwight, for the love of Dwight! Can I get an RIP Dwight in the comment section?